Hello everybody, welcome to Limitless Education Group. I'm your host today. So you're supposed to know that I'm pregnant. If you watch our previous video, then you know I'm pregnant. She's pregnant. My baby, hi. I think I'm 18 weeks. I don't even know. Let me check. Everybody, do you have that app that tells you that your baby is like a cucumber, a melon, blah blah blah? Let me check how far gone I am. It's so slow. How are you today? Why is load? I don't know why it's taking this much. Oh, I know why. I don't have internet. I know why. My phone is gonna die soon, but I will keep talking. My phone is gonna die. So, as I was saying, I'm pregnant, and here I want to share with you my first trimester. How was my first trimester? Wow. I don't know where to start. Okay, if you watched the previous video, then you know that I found out that I was pregnant at my wedding day. I was 8 weeks already. Yeah, I'm gonna share with you everything, and if I forgot some stuff, I will do another video. I think this gonna be supportive, and also liking to document my pregnancy so that I can watch it when I go to the next one. Funny enough, one of my symptoms for my first trimester was like, I'm not gonna have another child. Like, I was like, what? I can't go through this again. Literally, I was like, my husband, I'm not having another baby. This is the only one. So yeah, I found out I was pregnant at 8 weeks. Now when I look back at it, there were signs, but I didn't pay attention to them because even in my wildest dream, I couldn't imagine I was pregnant. So the funny thing is that we were planning to get pregnant in November, and then we ended up being pregnant in October. You're gonna ask me, October, November, yeah. You're gonna ask me, but it's just 2 months apart. It's just 1 month. It's just 1 month apart. So yeah, but even though it's like, do you know how you're so laser focused on something that you think it's just gonna happen that way? So that's what happened to me. I was so laser focused as, oh, that's when we're gonna get pregnant. And I must admit, October, I was like, oh, we can just do it now. Since we're gonna get pregnant next month, we can just do it now. Especially that way, there's this thought of, you never know, you might not get pregnant, and then you have to wait next month. But at the same time, I was like, so I was like, let's just get pregnant this month. But that month, I didn't do I didn't make love, have sex. Yeah, the day I thought is the day to make a baby. I make tests for and after that day. So for me, it was like, if it's not that day, and I know it's stupid. It's, in a sense, it doesn't make sense, because I know that the sperm stay longer in your body and etc. But for me, it was like, oh, because that day we didn't have sex, we didn't make love. Let's say made love, then I'm not pregnant. So that's what happened. And so the first sign that I had, but I was like, I didn't in a moment thought, oh, maybe that's pregnancy, was at some point I started having naps. Like, it wasn't a you must sleep now, but it was a I feel sleepy. And I'm not someone who sleep during the day. Like, some people will have naps and they wake up like, I just have my nap. Me, if I have a nap during the day, then I'm sick or something is happening. And when I would nap during the day, I will wake up sick. And I've talked with people, and some people have the same thing, where when you sleep during the day, you wake up feeling more tired, more exhausted, weird, like you are sick. So I really avoid sleeping during the day. So by that time, I remember it was that was my 7th week, because my brother came the 5th of November to visit, and that was the week where I was having those stuff that I just now realized that, oh, that was pregnancy. So there was I was like, I would like to go to bed and sleep. Just that thought, I was just like, I feel like right now if I go to bed, I will have a nap. But I didn't do them. And the other thing was, I started feeling dizzy, slightly dizzy. Like, there was dizziness where I was like uncomfortable, and I will lie down a lot. So I remember that week, imagine my brother coming to visit for a week, and I'm just on a couch. I'm sure he thought, why is this one so lazy? Why is she just lying down? So he started suggesting to me, you need to go out, you need to go for a walk like an hour every single day. It doesn't make sense. The reason why you feel sick, it's because you're just inside. That's literally what he told me. Like, this is why you're just lying down all the time. I was just like, man, I don't feel like this all the time. Why this week? So I was just like, maybe he's right. So I tried to go for walks, but I still had that point where I was dizzy, vertigo. And so yeah, for me, it was just like, it wasn't that serious. And also, all my life I usually have dizziness and, how do you call it, car sickness. And I've never been on a boat, so can you call it boat sickness? They say in French, le mal de mer. So I usually have those while driving. Growing up, like, I was literally that kid that you drive it and then she throw up when you guys get to the destination. So, and did I start spitting at that time? I don't think so. Maybe a little bit. And like I said, growing up too, it come from my dad's lineage, where my dad spit a lot. Yeah, spitting, that's the word. I spit more than the average human being. Like, you usually spit here and there, but I will spit a little bit more than the average human being, average person. So when those was happening, I was just like, oh, that's just something that happened. And also the way my husband the way he drives gives you sickness. Like, your head starts spinning around. So I was also blaming that on that. That's because of that. And my brother also, because they were going every day to work, he also started telling me that, I also start feeling dizzy like you. I was like, see, that's what I was telling you. It's not me being at home, it's because he drive the craziest way. So yeah, those were the symptoms I was having before I went to Texas. So we flew the 12th, I think. I don't remember the 12th or the 10th, I don't remember, but yeah, went to Texas. And slowly by the day, like, it's like every single day it was a little bit more intense, little bit more. So being in Texas for our event, our TT ranch event, technical tutor, the best tool in the world. You should reach out to my husband if you want to know more, if you want to join this community. Like I said in my previous video, and I'm going to talk about it again here, how community is necessary. You are a woman, you want to have kids, you don't have community, girl. Okay, let me focus. So we flew to Texas, and then there, it was the time I was like, oh, I'm gonna finally go there and relax. It's why those events are for. It's like for a certain time during the year, you focus on stuff, you do stuff, and then you go there and you're like, oh yeah, I'm away from my routine, for my daily stuff. I'm with this community and being at the ranch, nature, Texas, Jefferson. It's like the best, right? I was just like waiting for that time, and we decided to stay there for a week, like a week of awesomeness. That was my plan. So we get there, and I just, like, every time I just want to go be in bed. The dizziness start increasing slowly. I'm more dizzy than yesterday. I will spit there, I will stay there and talk and etc. But at some point, I think the second day, I was just like, I need to go and lie down. I need to go and sleep. I feel my vertigo was to the roof. I would stand there and feel like I'm gonna fall. Like, my head, it's like crazy, and it's like my stomach was turning around. It's like turning, and yeah, so slowly I start smelling stuff and be like, I don't like that smell, even though I was used to those smell. Like, my husband, someone gifted him a perfume, and I like the smell. We don't do perfume here on a daily basis, but yeah, for the event he brought there, I was like, what do you have on? He's like, I was like, I don't like the smell. He's like, but you told me you like this. I'm like, right now I don't know why I don't like it. Like, stuff like that, other stuff, I don't remember other stuff that usually it doesn't bother me, but I was like, I don't like this smell. And so next thing was food. I was like, I don't want to eat that, I don't like that. And I was picky with food. And the funny thing is, everybody was like, are you pregnant? I was like, me pregnant? No, I'm not pregnant. They're like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm not pregnant, I'm not. They're like, Okay. Like literally everybody, the moment they saw me and asked me, and I started telling how I felt, I'm dizzy, I want to throw up, but I don't. Yeah, that was the other thing. I felt like I wanted to throw up, but nothing. Is like you want to throw up, your stomach is turning, and you have vertigo, but at the same time you don't throw up. Crazy, right? Yeah. So I remember, yeah, the next day, same thing, but a little bit more intense. Remember, every single day. Do you know the curve of the, how do you call it, HC? What is that hormone that you have on a pregnancy test? HCG. That curve, the way it goes, that's how my symptoms went. So yeah, I remember one day I literally want to eat mac and cheese. Mind you, I don't eat mac and cheese on a daily basis. The only time I ate mac and cheese was our first self-affected event when I actually met my husband. And yeah, San Diego, and I ate a mac and cheese there. I really liked it. But the way they did it, it wasn't the regular mac and cheese. And someone told me that it's maybe a vegan version of mac and cheese, because it wasn't that sticky and yellow. It was almost like white and more watery. So that's what I liked it. So that day I was like, I want that mac and cheese. I went to the whole town in Jefferson, no mac and cheese, same thing. Everybody was like, how come you just want mac and cheese? Don't you think you're pregnant? I was like, me pregnant? No, I'm not pregnant. Literally everybody was like, I'm like, I'm not pregnant, I can't be pregnant. And you may ask, didn't I have wasn't I late on my period? Yes, but it happens sometimes. So I was like, it's not the first time. So I was like, I can't be pregnant, I'm not pregnant. So yeah, I looked for the mac and cheese. I didn't find the mac and cheese. I ended up taking a taco. I think it was I don't remember which one it was, but I liked it. So moving on, yeah, I remember the Friday was the first like formal event where there's a stage and we talk. That one I slept through. I was just sleepy. I was like, good night guys, I can't do this. At the beginning I was like, you can't be sleeping here, but then I didn't know how. I just wake up at the end when people were clapping. I was like, I was just sleeping. And then the next day, Sunday, yeah, I didn't even went to the ranch. I was like, I can't come. I was just sleeping. I slept like almost all day, and I went there like in the evening, because we had let's just say the big event, the big day where there's you have dinner and etc. And we were late. Sorry to the modest Chantal, and I'm sorry Chantal and Owen, especially Owen. Owen likes to be on time, and me, because of the fact that I was so sick, everything that we had to go, every time I was just like, I'm not going. And I would end up be like, okay, let's just make some effort and brush your teeth or take a shower and let's go. So we were always late. I'm usually a little bit late. This time I was like very late, so sorry Chantal, especially sorry Modest, I'm so sorry. So next day was Sunday, right? Sunday, what did you have on Sunday? Yeah, I stay at the Airbnb. I was like, every single day it was more intense. The dizziness, vertigo, wanting to throw up. And in the morning I had that thing they call, I don't know how they call it, where you want to brush your teeth and at the same time you want to throw up. So I had those, and because of that, Chantal told me, you're definitely pregnant. And also I told her that I don't know why my boobs have been hurting. Usually, like, it's like almost every symptom I was having are the stuff that I would have when I have my period. Like, before I have my period, my boobs get bigger and they are more tender and they are irritating and blah blah blah. It was the same, but this time around I was like, but it's been a long time, why is this period coming? And also, yeah, another reason why I was like, I can't be pregnant is that I was having the same sensation of period cramps that I would usually have a week. Sometime I will have my boob or breast or whatever you call them become bigger even 2 weeks before I have my period, but usually it's like a week before that became bigger and irritating, blah blah. And then I will start having some period cramps a little bit, and then I will have my period. So those things were happening, but then it added the vertigo, nausea, and etc. But I was like, those things I also have them sometimes. Sometimes to time I have them. So I was just like, and especially that we drove airplane and then drive from Dallas to Jefferson. I was like, all of it together, that's why I'm having this bad vertigo. That's the reason why. Because I said I have car sickness and everything that moved sickness. So I was like, that's the reason, but it was more intense. So when I talk about my boobs and her saying me when I brush my teeth wanting to throw up, she was like, she is pregnant. And then yeah, when she said, I was like, oh, I'm gonna check, but I don't think so. So Sunday, yeah, I just slept through the day. Like, I think I just went then in the evening, and yeah, it was getting intense. And the next day was my wedding. Monday the 18th of November was my wedding. Guess what? When I woke up that day, I was like, I'm not going to that wedding. I was like, there is no way. I was feeling so bad, like I was like, the dizziness was more intense, the need or want to throw up, the vertigo, nausea, it was more intense. So I was like, I'm not going to this wedding. I'm just gonna call them and tell them it's cancelled. But then I was like, it's my wedding, so I can come late. That is the reason why I was like, okay, we can make it. So I slowly woke up, slowly took my bath and look at my dress. I was like, gonna wear this and I need to do a little bit of makeup. I had an idea for my hairstyle, you know, for my hair. I mean, I know how to do this. I know how to make this so beautiful. I had an idea. But because of this, the hairstyle I did, it was there, but to be self-honest, I didn't like it. But I was like, I'm gonna do this anyway. So I am so grateful for having a community like this, like having people that even when I'm not there, they did everything for my wedding. Like everything was done. Like everything. I didn't have to think about anything. I think Sunday too, Kim, who was my wedding planner, she asked me that we can go and buy some flowers for my bouquet. She wanted to do my bouquet. She gifted me my bouquet. Thank you, Kim. And I was like, yeah, we can go. But then I was like, I don't feel good. She was like, yes, go. And then she ended up telling me that she knew I was pregnant. That's why she was like, yeah, go and rest. So everything was done. I didn't have to bother about anything. So even when I was struggling doing my makeup, I had Chantal helping me with my dress, to lace my dress. And then Kim, she even called me countless times so that I can come to the ranch and so that they can help me prepare. But unfortunately, I didn't see her call, but Jude came and told me like, oh, we've been calling you. I'm like, I don't even know where my phone is at. So I went to the ranch. They helped me to dress up. I did a little makeup. But something I must say, this pregnancy gave me the glow that day. My skin was so beautiful. Even now, I still think this is giving me that glow on my skin. My skin that day, I just did powder, the gloss. It was so good. Like I said, the only thing I didn't like is my hair, but it's just because I'm a hair professional. See, that's why I'm like, that day should have been this. But anyway, so I got prepared and I had my wedding. And funny enough, during that wedding, I felt better. So we had the ceremony. My brother was the one telling us to kiss the bride and tell your vows. I don't know, the officiant. So it was just a, how do you call it, an unofficial wedding, because Jude and I were married already. So it was just a wedding with the community. And at that time, I had strength. I was able to dance. I danced that day. I had fruits, and I later realized that I have sweet aversion. So I realized that, okay, after eating that, later that day I felt more sick, and after that I realized that it's because of that. And the funny thing is, at that time the only thing I wanted to eat were fruits. So I had some fruits. There were other stuff at that wedding I don't even remember. But now I don't even remember. I'm sure people had a good time, but me, I had my fruit. I was good with fruit. Jude had everything. I think he had everything on the menu. And then we had our wedding cake. I don't like cakes. Jude too don't like cakes, but that our cake, thank you Kim again, that cake was awesome. Even me, like me, Sandra, pregnancy or not, I don't like cakes, but that cake was awesome. I ate it. Beautiful cake. We cut the cake. We had people speak. Kim, Cameron, I have a name on my lips. Katie, I don't remember. And then we have a dance party, we dance. It was like a brunch wedding, like the wedding during the day, just a brunch wedding. And yeah, something that I loved my wedding dress. I loved that dress, even though I felt like my boobs were more out. I don't like putting my boobs out. I don't like that. Even this, I feel like it's too much out, but it's because they are big. I'm not gonna go and buy new things. Like sometimes I just put them up, but it's because they are bigger. So I'm like, okay. So I take my measurement for that dress. You can guess my boob weren't that big. So yeah, when I tried it on, I was like, oh, why are my boobs so out there? That's the only thing that I would change, but that wasn't anything on my control. It was my body preparing to carry this child. So it's not like it's the style that I chose to have a décolleté like that. So yeah, that dress is beautiful. That I must say, my dress, makeup, my skin, just my hair. Yeah. So I remember dancing. At some point I felt tired. I was like, I need to cut this thing. We were dancing, but I was like, I need to throw this bouquet and go to bed. Yeah. So yeah, I was just like, guys, I need to go. I need to lie down. So yeah, I just went and lie down. Yeah. And I'm not telling you the power, but if you watch the other video where Jude the day before went and bought a pregnancy test, and I took the pregnancy test the day of our wedding. So when I woke up, I saw the pregnancy test there. I was like, oh, good. I was like, thank you, babe. Thank you. I'm gonna finally show them the result. Everybody is saying I'm pregnant, so let them see the result by themselves. So literally when I was doing that, I was just like, let me do this so that people can leave me alone. That was literally what was in my mind. But at the same time, I was like, I would like it to be positive. And if you get my reasoning, I was like, so I don't have to do the work this month. So I was like, so that it's done. That was the reasoning in my mind. I would like it to be positive. And also it's like, then it's like a feminine thing of, I'm fertile. It's like, in a sense, also being fertile as a woman, it's like it's also come with you're healthy. I'm not saying because you conceive a child you're 100% healthy, but I think there's a baseline of being healthy and all those stuff, feminine stuff, where you're like, I can carry life and etc. Those little stuff, I was like, that would be cool too. So when I did the test and I saw that, I was like, I'm pregnant. That's literally, like I said, I was so sick. I was just like, I'm pregnant. And also, other reason why I was glad I was pregnant that month, I was like, at least this sickness have a purpose. At least, because I don't want to be sick for nothing. Do you imagine you being pregnant or you being sick for nothing? And I was thinking, that means maybe something is wrong with me. Imagine I wasn't pregnant. That means all that dizziness, sickness, nausea, everything, that means I'm sick. So when I realized I'm pregnant, I was like, it's not sickness. So I realized later on that I have sweet aversion, because when I ate fruits, because that's the only way I got sugar in my system, or sweets or whatever, I was more sick, like sick. And I remember craving cantaloupe. He got me some cantaloupe. I ate it the moment I was done. Like, the funny thing about my sweet aversion is that in my mouth it was so good. It was like paradise. But afterward I was more sick. So for the cantaloupe it was the same. In my mouth I was like I was like, finally I found something that I can eat. So that means all this pregnancy I'm just gonna eat this thing. Guess what? The moment I was done eating to the bathroom, I threw up. And I think it was my first official time to actually throw up. Like, the other time it was just you want to throw up but nothing comes out. But that one, all that cantaloupe ended up in the toilet. Yeah. And then I started developing I don't want to eat that, I don't want that. And I think when I came home, I cooked, like, that month I think I cooked like 4 times. I still got a little bit strength, sometimes I would cook and I would crave spaghetti. So I would think about spaghetti. I was like, and then I want them spicy. If it's not spicy, don't give it to me. So spaghetti with tomato sauce, spicy as and then eat it, it would be a blessing, like a bliss. But then at some point I threw up. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. So that's when I went slowly into, I don't want to eat anything, because everything I ate was just like, I would feel even more bad. Either I threw it up, like I said, I just threw the cantaloupe, and then one time I also threw up the spaghetti, but I wasn't throwing up like on a regular basis. I was just like, I wish I would throw up, but I didn't. And but I must say, I sometimes first eat in the morning. Like I would sometimes wake up in the morning, I would be so sick, like my stomach would be turning around, that I would force myself. Like that's not best, but I'm just telling you, my first trimester, I will force it and I will throw a bile and I will feel a little bit better. So I think when I did that and felt better, and when I still feel better, it's like for 30 minutes. But at that time, at that point, you're like, I would take it. Then I did it almost every day, but I wouldn't. That's what I recommend, but it was just my survival point. I was just like, I'm just gonna do this to survive. So yeah, I went slowly into, I don't want to eat. And also I had the water aversion too. But sometimes I could handle very cold water, but sometimes I was able to drink water on its own. But like I said, everything I took, it just made me more sick. I would take it, it wasn't like it was the bad thing on earth, but I just felt like the more if I ate something, then I would feel bad, even more worse later. So I slowly went into, I don't want to eat, and I shouldn't even eat, and if I don't eat, I will feel better. That's how I took it. So you can guess that I slowly went into not eating at all. I remember I did 2 days, even half, without eating anything at all. I drank water, and guess when I say I drank maybe 1 scoop, but eating. But then I was like, this is not best for myself, for this kid. So I just knew that I need to eat something. So at the same time, I was interviewing housewife. Hey, I'm already a housewife. Why am I interviewing midwives? So when I would tell them my symptoms, some of them would tell me eat blank food. I once ate rice, just plain. It was there, but then I was like, I don't want any rice. They were like crackers. I don't like stuff like that when you just look at the ingredient. I don't like stuff like that. Like even when I'm not pregnant, I don't like stuff like that. So I just tried one. I was like, I don't like this stuff. And I thought about yogurt. So yogurt was the thing that I ate, like a little bit of it every day at some point. After those 2 days without eating and seeing how my body was so weak, I was like, yes, I need to make effort to eat something. So I was like, maybe yogurt. So we tried yogurt, and yeah, I was taking yogurt, a little bit of yogurt every day, sometime at night. Yeah, so that's what holds my body, and that's already a month gone. So like literally it was HELL. Like it's like you're in another dimension. Literally, I wasn't on earth, I was in another dimension. It's like I hated my own presence, my own smell. You have a smell. Being pregnant, there's that smell where you're like, I was like, ew. It was so, even smelling my and I could smell something like my neighbors are cooking. Like I never do that. The sense of smell that you have is even more than a dog, I think, or whatever is out there. Like I could smell anything and it would make me so sick. Like I would be in I just want this to disappear kind of situation where I'm like, it's like a survival mode where you're like, it's either this smell stop or something will happen. That literally what happened to me. So even my husband, I was like, please stay away, your smell, I don't like it. I don't like your smell. Like, and you can feel bad about that, but you have to just in that moment understand that it's not you, and then you have to be self-honest with, look, your smell right now, you think you smell bad. Even myself, I smelled bad to my own self, but I couldn't remove myself from myself. But in that moment I was like, is there a way I can remove myself from myself? And also being that sick, taking a shower is also a whole new thing. It's like taking showers, I needed the water to be hot. I don't usually take showers, like literally in summer Jude and I decided to take a shower with cold showers, but then I was like, I can't do this anymore. I was like, babe, you do that if you want. I can't. I needed the water to be hot. And then slowly I start feeling that if something doesn't change, I may collapse. Like I may end up in a hospital. I slowly felt it. And I remember one night, I was so weak that something told me you need to eat. Like it was another survival moment of Sandra, you must eat tonight or tomorrow. If not, something's gonna happen. So I was just like, what is that I can eat? And I started thinking. And funny enough, during that time, the only stuff that I craved was my homeland food, the food that I ate back home, that I grew up eating. And unfortunately, I'm not home. My mother is not around. I don't have people around that cook that for me. But fortunately, there's also a restaurant here that can provide that but it's not the same. It's never the same. Restaurant and homemade is not the same. So few times I got stuff from there that I ended up eating and felt like, yeah, this can stay in my belly. But some, I remember one, I ate it. After that, I just threw up. Now I rarely threw up, so when I threw up, it was like my body was like, F this, I don't like this. So that night I was like, whatever, I need to find something that I will able to swallow. And what came in mind was a rice with a sauce that is so spicy. If you're African, you know every African country had their way of doing it, but generally every country have that. I was like, I need this, and I googled online restaurant. I saw some Nigerian restaurant having that, but unfortunately it was Sunday and they are closed on Sundays. So I was like, what are we gonna do? So Drew went to Whole Food. Unfortunately, the rice that they had at Whole Food had lemon. Who put lemon in rice? Lemon. It's when you're like African and you look white people, you're like, why? What do you guys cook? Like, why would you put lemon in rice? They're like, lemon rice. I was like, no, I'm not having this. So I was like, oh, I have an idea. Can you go to an Indian restaurant? They usually have very spicy food. I want something spicy. I want rice and very spicy. So he went, and mind you, it's 10 or 11 p.m, something like that. But I was like, babe, today I must eat. I know, but please, we need to find something that I must eat tonight. He went there, got the rice, spicy, and came back home. Guess what? I forgot to tell him that I hate curry. Don't like curry. I don't know why you guys eat curry. You eat curry. Even when I'm not pregnant, I don't like that stuff. So when he came home, I tried it. I was like, yes, it's spicy, but there's curry. I just removed it. I was like, I don't want curry. Why curry? And then I was like, what is the solution here? So I put yogurt on it. Still I couldn't swallow it. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna end up taking that yogurt again. But first thing in the morning, you need to go to that Nigerian restaurant. Oh, look at the sun on me. You need to go to that Nigerian restaurant and get me that exact food that I want. So I did that. I ate some yogurt. That night it's a lot. So the next day, yeah, he got that rice, and if you are Nigerian, it's the rice and ofada sauce. That ofada sauce is spicy. So when he brought that, I plated it, and when I tried the first spoon, I was like, thank you. I literally told him, thank you, finally. And he just clapped. He himself just clapped, like, yeah, we did it, because that was something. And I finally ate. Like, that's also a moment I realized where your body is like, for you and this baby to survive, you can't be doing this. So yeah, I ate, and I think I ate that food, because you have to know, even though I like the thing, like I ate just a small amount because my stomach is like, this is enough. So I ate that, I think 4 or 3 days in a row. Yeah. And then I slowly gained some strength a little bit. And something that I forgot, some of other symptoms that I forgot to share are my hypersalivation. I have a cup, you know those cup you buy for parties when you have events, and I will use that 2 or 3 times a day. Like it will be full and I will throw it and then fill it again, and like my hypersalivation was just like, that's another thing that was just like, so even for me it was disgusting. When I would look at it, I was like, this is disgusting. And funny enough, I thought Jude would be disgusted with it, but he was like, when I asked him to clean it for me so I can use it again, he was like, okay. I was like, wow, I'm glad he's not thinking this is disgusting, because I would be like, this is disgusting. So hypersalivation, and then mucus mucus. I had it. I still have it. I still have hypersalivation sometimes, but you're like, Sana, you're talking. Depends, like in the morning, depends on the day. There are days they still like out there. There are days I have less, and depending on what I eat, etc. I'm gonna share with you the stuff that I did too, and the other thing that I had, that the way I can explain to you is weird. So because of my hypersalivation and the fact that I have mucus, that every time I had to, it's just mucus and saliva. I had this thing where I felt like my throat, from my mouth to my throat, it felt like I had worm. I feel like I had like 3-4 worms in my throat doing this. Like every time I will try to remove them, but it was just there. So it was such the worst from everything I witnessed during my pregnancy, first trimester. That was the worst of them all, and something that deprived me of sleep. Like the only way I could feel better is through sleep. Like when I was awake, I was just in a, I can't bear this. This is painful. It's not like pain. It's just, can I say miserable? It's just like you're miserable. Yeah, that's the word. For a moment, I didn't want to say that word, but it's just like you're miserable. You're just like miserable. So sleeping takes that away, you know. So I was just like, can I please sleep? So every time I went to sleep, I was like, oh. So, but that thing will prevent me from sleeping. Can you imagine the thing that's giving you peace in a moment of being miserable, then another symptom come and deprive you of your sleep? So sometimes there were nights that I had to just sit, put pillows here and sit straight, because the more I lie down, the more I'll feel those worms. Ugh. So sometimes I would just take my pillows and sit there and try to sleep. But the moment I would tilt my head, I would just feel them again. Like they are coming out and nothing is coming out. And I would just feel so bad and more miserable and less sleep. And that, I Google it, and it's like, and there was that thing, it's like between my throat and, oh, it's like something was there dripping, and that was creating those worms in my, it was so bad. So that's the worst I can say about everything that I witnessed. The worst. I can say the next was my smell. The smell, not liking the smell that I was emitting, not liking the smell around, and then nausea, dizziness. Ugh. And so now let's talk about the stuff that supported me. So for 3 years, I've been on this journey to support myself to be a parent. It must be the norm. Everybody must be a parent before being a parent. It's like, the system is like, you must be a lawyer before you practice law, right? You must be a doctor before you practice. You must be a teacher before you teach. So how come you have a system where any day, anytime, you can be a parent? So how come the most important thing in our society, we are not preparing for that? Like I can right now go to a hospital and be like, I want to practice, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a pediatrician. They're gonna ask me, okay, well, your certificates, where did you went to, blah blah blah, right? Because you need the qualification, even though I don't agree that the system is actually giving you the right qualification, but put that aside, you get the point. You have to learn the skill, you have to learn before you start practicing. But when it comes to parent, one day you just become a parent. Our society must move from that to a society where from day one you are actually being prepared to be a parent first before becoming a parent. And so when I realized that point for myself, I realized that point long ago. Not when I say long, I was still 22. I'm 30 now. I think I was 20, something like that. There was something telling me I'm gonna be a bad parent, and that was true. I'm gonna be a bad parent because those are how I act, react, and move in society. I was like, I can't even take care of myself. How am I going to take care of another human being? I'm lost in this life. The moment you become an adult, the moment you have to now see the world, you're like, this sucks. You're like, I don't get anything. I can't do stuff. I don't know how to do it. I don't have self-esteem. I have this problem, this anxiousness, blah blah blah. And so I'm like, how am I gonna be able to take care of another human being if I haven't figured out myself? And people are like, oh, you will come, you will lie. We need to have a society where we are parent first, and how we are doing it with our community. It's not going to be a curriculum where you sit down like, this is the curriculum, how to be a good parent. It's going to be within your education from day one, even before you're born. So the things that I did to support myself since 2021, I made a commitment to go through my trauma, my bullshit, my uncertainties, everything that you know deep down that are making you not being the great human being that you want to be. I don't need to tell you, you know. Nobody needs to tell you, or you're this, you know. When you are in your box, you know the real you know what you know how to do, what you don't know how to do, where you are incompetent, and etc. And you know where you will fail when you become a parent. But everybody's gonna tell you, me too, I beat my kid and so I don't like it, but that's it anyway. So preparing for that supported me through this, even though it was HELL. I know that if I didn't do this process, it wouldn't be HELL, it will be more than HELL. So that's the first step. The second step is to have a community, and the thing is, when you have the tools, the community come with it. And like I said, if you want to know more about the tools that I used to support myself all this while and the community, you have to reach out to my husband, talk about that. And then when you join, you will talk with me and with other women in our community. So that's the second thing, having a community. Like in those moments, my husband was supported by the community to support me, because none of us were supported in the right way. He was supported to support me, and the women in the community supported me to support myself. Because in this time, normally I should have my mom around and people around, but the society is not built that way. So having your community, and the community is like all around the world where people can support you, different background and everything. So I remember at some point I talked with Jessica, and you will see her on the channel sometimes when we travel and we have some interviews here and there. So she's already a mom of 2, and we talked, and she gave me such great support in terms of how I can handle my nausea with essential oils and ginger. Ginger is something that supported me so much. This baby is made out of ginger. No, it's not made out of sperm and eggs. It's made out of ginger. Like when we talked, I think that was already December. There's a support and a little bit pushing where I was just like, no, I don't want anything. I don't want to drink anything. Everything is just where I don't want to. She was just trying to support me to see that it's by me trying something and trying another thing that I'm going to find a thing that are going to support me to get out of that hell state. So she suggested there are ginger gummy or sweets. I was like, I don't like sweet, and she was like, you can just put it in your mouth. Like, I tried it when I was in Texas, it didn't work. And then she just kept explaining to me why it would make sense for me. So I was like, okay, let me try ginger juice. So I tried ginger juice, meaning I got some organic ginger, I put it in a blender with water, and then I press it to get the juice, and I put some lemon in it, and then I put some hot water, and I wait, and then I drink. That thing saved me. Like I would drink it day and night, all day long. That's what I would drink. Because water was like, I can drink water. So that was my water, and that helped me so much with my nausea. And because of that, I was having a little bit more strength, and a little bit more strength mean I would eat a little bit more. So it just go hand in hand. And also I have essential, how is that one called? Peppermint. Yeah, I use that for my nose. I would smell it, and it will support me with my mucus, the excess product of mucus, and a little bit of, just slightly with hypersalivation, but it wasn't that much. But with my mucus, it will help me so much. When I would smell it, it would support me so much. And then slowly I start eating a little bit more, and literally those 2 things. And also, like I said, having support of the community, because during that time there's gonna be a lot between your spouse and you, because you guys are going into it for the first time. And like, I couldn't in my wildest dream think I'm gonna have such a first trimester. Like I say, it was hell for me. I'm humbled by pregnancy, by being a woman. Not humble in the sense of, because there's one definition of humble that means playing small, you being small and showing to people that you don't value material stuff. It's not that humble that I'm talking about. There's something I could never imagine that's what women go through to carry life. That was like, wow, it's a lot. Like 27, even when I'm talking to you right now, my body is working to make sure this baby have everything. Like literally my body is gonna produce bone, eyes, brain, a heart. We got cut off for a moment. My battery died. So I think I was saying that pregnancy humbled me in the sense of inner strength. That strength is not outside you doing stuff. Literally in this season of my life, I'm learning to understand that me just sitting right now here is me working. Like I said, 24/7, my body is literally producing a human being. Can you imagine that? Like a heart, kidney, brain, wild. That's wild. So it was slowly, quote unquote, easy for me to understand that point because I've been working this process for years. If not when I got the support, because I got the support on that point from Katie. It was such a good call that we had, because when I started getting better, I still felt week and so many stuff where I was just starting going almost into self-pity of how come I'm still like this, and everybody's like in second trimester you're gonna feel better, and I'm like no, it's getting worse, it's going worse and worse. So yeah, at some point it went better, but at some point even it's like first trimester it was worse, and then it started getting better, but at some point it started getting worse again. So I was like, why this? And because I've been working process for so long, I'm not saying it's even long, like somebody should be working this process even before they are conceived, you know. I'm not gonna say it's long, but in the sense of my lifetime, it can be seen as long. So because I decided to work this process, the support that I get, I will see why it makes sense and apply it. I'm not saying someone who just work process now is not gonna, people are different, but I just know that supported me a lot. So yeah, having a community and supporting yourself before becoming pregnant are tools that are gonna support you to get through all of this. And then giving birth and postpartum, it's funny enough, I'm so confident in my postpartum. I'm so confident in the fact that because postpartum you just need to rest. Can you imagine that we are in a society where resting is such a difficult task for us, especially women, because it's been a world of give birth and 2 weeks after go back to work to be the boss babe. So for all of us women, it's like a challenge to slow down. But working this point right now already, I'm so confident that in my postpartum I'm gonna do the thing that needs to be done in postpartum, which is slowing down and resting. And so I don't know if I shared everything. I think the lighting is not even the best now that the sun is here and everything. I'm sure I forgot certain stuff. Yeah, I just know that I spent almost 2 months in bed during my first trimester, and yeah, there were consequences of me not eating and hydrating myself. I ended up with having anemia. So at the end of December, I finally decide on my midwife, because I was interviewing midwives and I decided, and then we started the process, and then I had to do my blood test, my urine, and find out some pretty stuff in my urine, like kidney stones, and I always forget that thing, and infection and stuff, protein in my urine, and so many other stuff. And those are the consequences of me not getting the basic nutrition for almost 2 months. And so my baby take it all, and my body was now just using my fat to keep us alive, to keep me and this baby alive. So yeah, those are the consequences from that. And anemia too, one of the consequences from not eating for almost 2 months. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do a video on how I'm working on my anemia and for my urine and everything that was fun in that. After a month, everything went back to what is supposed to be normal. You know, just a month of eating what I'm supposed to eat, it just went back to where it should be. So yeah, that's just something also that I realized for myself, that those stuff will have consequences in physical reality. Like, I went into that, my mindset when I came back from Texas and I was feeling so bad and all those things, it was just, I'm just gonna sleep so that I get better. So it wasn't a good starting point. It wasn't a, I'm gonna try and support my body as best as I can, and if I can't eat, it's not that bad, but I will try to eat. I will still have ideas and try and error and be like, oh, I don't like this. But I just went into survival of, since the only time I feel better is sleep, I'm just gonna sleep. So that was my starting point, and it wasn't best. And I realized that, see, it's by doing process. If you don't do process, you wouldn't see that. And you may hear that, you may be like, duh, or you may be like, I don't see the point, I don't see the correlation, because, but I see in my process, I see that it wasn't a good starting point. And so next time I'm gonna have a better starting point. Even if I go to the same symptoms, I'm 100% sure I'm not gonna do the same thing that's gonna put me into those consequences. And I know someone can be like, you don't know when you're pregnant. I know I've been pregnant. I went through those time where it's like, if someone gives you an advice of, you try it, you're like, fuck off, I don't care, I'm not gonna eat this. Even if this person is like, you need this, so that you're gonna be like, no. But because I did my process, now I will know, even if I say fuck off, the next minute I'm gonna be like, yeah, I see the point. So I talked a lot, but that's what women are for. Oh, did you know? It's a girl. My baby is a girl. I'm going to talk about that in the next video. I'm already tired. So see, I'm honoring my body. Right now, I feel tired. I need to eat. We need to eat, sit, and relax. And this beautiful couch, relax. And yeah, that's what I want for now. I will do another video because I wanted to talk to you about my prenatals and supplements and stuff that I'm doing, my eating, and but I'm like, nah, I'm tired. I'm honoring that, and I'm hungry, and I'm not allowed to be hungry. Okay, talk to you soon. And like I said, if you want to join a community of women that are gonna support you before you get pregnant, while you get pregnant, and after that, postpartum, when you raise your kids, reach out to my husband. He will guide you through everything you need and see if that's a good fit for you, you know. Bye bye. Kiss. Kiss for my baby.